All right, so you should be logged in as your demo user at this point. Make sure it's demo and not root. So up here in the top right, you have demo user. We're just going to type in EC2. And just like that, we're going to click on EC2. Okay, launch instance is right here. You might have it in a different place. Another way to do it is to just go down to instance on the navigation panel on the left. That's the sure bet. So let's do that. Instances. And you can see I have one running right now. I think this has been running for a while. I don't know if it tells you on the screen or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to launch instances at the top right. Now we're going to name this instance. Let's just call it demo EC2 instance. You call it whatever you want, but it's easy to remember if you follow along with me. Okay, and then we have to choose an application and OS images. So what we're going to do is click on Amazon Linux here. It's an operating system called Linux that it's Amazon's flavor of Linux. And when you go down, you're going to see free tier eligible. Hopefully, if you have the free tier, but either way, that's the one we're going to use. So it's the Amazon Linux 2023 kernel, free tier eligible. Any one that you pick should be fine, but just know that there's cost associated with some of them, and we're not going to try to get into that today. 64-bit, that's fine. Notice the username, by the way, EC2 user. We're going to need that later. Instance type, T3 micro. Look for the free tier eligible again, and you can read up on all of this. You know, it's got 2 CPUs and 1 gigabit of memory, etc. We're doing very, very simple things, but you have options upon options of how you can lay this out. But we're not going to worry about it because the free tier is fine. Find the free tier. It should be T3 micro, maybe T2, maybe T4, something like that. Key pair, you need a key pair. This is like your secret key, and we'll talk about that in the actual app. There's more information that you can read about this. We're going to create a new key pair. That's right. Here we go. New key pair. Key name. Now let's just do demo key pair EC2. It doesn't really matter. Demo key pair EC2. And now key pair type RSA and then .pem, because we're going to be SSHing into this, which I know a lot of these terms some of you might not understand. And if you're on Windows, you're probably going to use PuTTY. I'm not quite sure offhand, but hopefully get some more tutorials with Windows based. But this is a Mac, and this is going to work for us, RSA.pem. What this is doing is it's creating a public key and a private secret key, basically. And we're going to hold on to the secret key on our local computer. And Amazon, or the EC2 instance, to be more specific, is going to take on the public key. They need to match. There's an algorithm that says, hey, I've got this public key. I won't talk to anybody unless you have this secret. Well, we have the secret. We do have it. And our terminal is going to help us with that. Okay, we're going to click on Create Key Pair. And you can see it's downloaded. You have to download it and remember where it's downloaded. Mine goes to the downloads folder, so no big deal. Keep going down, keep going down. Now here, firewall, security groups. We talk about security quite a bit throughout this course. So create security group. We're going to allow SSH because that's how we're going to get into this computer. And then right now it's defaulted to anywhere. So if you have the key, if you have the secret and you're on your partner's computer or you're at the library, you technically can get into this new EC2 instance. But we are going to click this button and you should see my IP down here. And this will make it so that only you in the whole world on this particular computer can log in to this new instance that has Amazon Linux installed, or about to have it installed, I should say. Okay, we've got that figured out. Keep going down. And now at the bottom, configure storage. We're not going to add any extra storage, so to speak, right? So what we're going to do is rely on what they call EBS. It's the elastic block storage, EBS. It's whatever the operating system on that instance is going to be on. And it's really just a basic operating system, nothing fancy about it. We'll talk more about that as we get into it though. Let's click on Launch Instance down here on the right. And if everything goes well, this will just take a few minutes. So what it's going to do, it's going to boot up. It says successfully initiated launch of instance, but let's click on instances here on the top left. We'll see it's initializing, status check initializing, but instance state, it's running. So the initializing could take a while. It's actually doing some health checks and whatever else is doing. But the fact that it's running means we can probably get in there right away. And that's what we're going to do. Remember, I asked you to check out that username. I think it was EC2 user. I'll show you when we go to log in. Another thing to take notice of is public IPv4, which is right here. This is our public address that we're going to need to log in. So let me open up a terminal. You can do command space and just type in terminal and then open the terminal app. Now that the terminal app is open, let's go ahead and SSH in. It's this simple. We have to first do one thing though. We have to go and change the permissions on that .pem file that we created. So what we're going to do is chmod 400. We need to get this permission changed so we can read and write. Space, and then for me, it's in my downloads folder. So I just type in ~/downloads. And then I think we called it demo something. Demo key pair EC2. Okay, it's a lot to handle. So we're going to do that, and that should work. Nothing pops up, no errors. Great. Then we're going to SSH in. SSH-I, and then the space bar. Then we're going to use that path again, ~/downloads, the path to your EC2 demo. So, or your key pair demo key pair ec2.pem. I clicked the tab button once I hit demo and it gave me the options, just an FYI. So once you have that, the space is there, then we're going to do ec2-user. Remember, that was the username in our instance. I said to take a look at that. Then @ and then of course we're going to use this public IP address, the IPv4 address that's public. Copy that and paste it right over, and then hit enter. And if all goes well, it's going to give you this notice that says, are you sure you want to continue connecting? It's never connected before, so it's saying, hey, I don't know this computer. Well, the answer is yes, because I know the computer because we just set it up. Once you do that, you get a little birdie, and you are now connected to a new computer. How do I know that? Well, let's do who am I? Who am I in the command line? And then it says your EC2 user. Okay, that doesn't tell you much. Uptime tells you how long it's been up. You can see what's in here. ls, nothing. ls-la. So you can see you do have some .bash logout, .bash profile. You have stuff in there, but it's pretty much empty. It does nothing for you. You know, echo, hello, world. But this is a computer across the world. Well, who knows where it is, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to quit this just by typing exit, and you'll get out. Now you're disconnected. You can always SSH back in. Let me close this and show you a couple more things before we get done here. Now this is running, and it's going to charge you per minute, and it's very, very affordable. If you left it on 24/7, it's probably $7.50 a month. We're not going to do that. It also charges you for storage if you use any storage. It's very, very, very affordable though, so I wouldn't sweat it. But that being said, you want to do your due diligence, and if we're not going to use this, we're going to destroy it. We don't need costs running up. So you see it's checked over here, and then I'm going to go to instance state. Let's just go through a couple of these. Stop instance, then you have reboot instance, and terminate, delete instance. We'll go through this more thoroughly later, but if you stop the instance, you are going to literally keep everything on there. But when you go to restart it, this public IP right here will more than likely be a different number. So if you're trying to programmatically do something, or you know, you have a cut and paste somewhere in one of your notes that say, hey, I know how to SSH in. Well, that public IP can change if you stopped the instance. Now a reboot, that will keep this IP address if you do a reboot. This will run forever, by the way. You don't need to worry about it breaking or anything like that. And then, of course, there's terminate, and this will delete the instance. Deleting the instance, it's gone forever, and you're not paying anything else. That's what we're going to do right now. Make sure you're on the right name, terminate. Then it's going to tell you like, hey, this is it. This is the end of the road here. And you can skip shutdown if you want, but I don't know, it's a habit. I just click terminate, delete. Surprised there isn't like a confirm or write out the name of this to confirm more. But anyways, I click the button. Now you see over here, instant state, it is shutting down. And in just a few minutes, when you do a refresh, it's gonna disappear completely. In fact, it's already gone. See that? So that's it. That's your first real taste of getting on an Amazon device and checking it out.